Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, my fans? How you doing? Ed here again for another video. I'm actually doing this at 2:30 at night after watching Indiana Jones, so my mind is pretty active now. Today I want to go through the playlist editor in FL Studio. So I'm going to start with the tune that I had last time. In fact, it's not a tune. It's a pretty crappy beat, but I'll remind you guys of what it sounded like. If I can. Yes, okay. Is that playing? No, it's not. Switch my channels on. That's the one. So pretty basic beat there was there. So now we've created a pattern. What we want to do is put it into the playlist editor, which is this big thing down here. Now if you remember, the button for that was up here. And you see all the patterns on the left. So what I'm going to do is put my pattern here. Oops, let's move it. I'm going to put it here. So if I play this now, actually at the top you see pattern selected, which means that if I press play, it's going to play the pattern that's highlighted over here. I want to play my song in the playlist editor, so I'm going to select song now. Press play. And it keeps repeating. At the top I can do a click. Is it left click? No, it's a right click. And what that means is I'll set that as a starting point. So it keeps repeating from that. Set it back to the beginning. And I can set as many of these as I like, and so on. Then it'll start again. And the idea is if you had different patterns and different instruments at different instruments at different patterns, then you could select as many as you like. Right click gets rid of it. Now in the playlist editor you can also zoom in and out. On the right we have this big square, so use a scroll wheel or use your up click and down click. Is it? Yeah, click and then drag. So this is your horizontal scroll, making it smaller and bigger. This small one is your vertical scroll, which is only scrolling the top bar for whatever reason, but actually, yeah, I suppose it makes sense because the top bar is for your audio samples. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go through some of the options that I've learned so far on the playlist editor, and I'm going to try and do that within the next 5 minutes. Okay, so I've got my track here, and so on. Now, like I said, I can move patterns with the mouse, like that. Now let's say I wanted to clone, let's get rid of that. Let's say I wanted to clone the pattern. So pattern 2 currently is empty. If I wanted to make a copy of it, I could right click the pattern 1 and do clone selected, and that'll copy pattern 1 into pattern 2. So if I go back to my pattern editor, you'll see this is pattern 2, 1, 2, it's exactly the same. So I can set 2 to be the same as 1. Let's play the same thing. Let's offset that. You can hear that. So it does the same thing, and then you can modify that to make it sound slightly different if you wanted to. So clone is quite a useful option. Another useful option then is right click, delete selected. Are you sure? Yes, bye bye. Go to my pattern, pattern 2 is empty again. So it's deleted forever and ever and ever. Can you undo that? I don't think so. Undo doesn't seem to work very nicely in FL Studio. Okay. What else can we do? We can flatten selected. Now let's say I'm inserting my pattern. Now we talked about beats and bars a while ago. So I've got some bars here. 1 bar, 4 beats. I put one in, put another one in, and so on. Now let's say I know I always want 4 at a time. I can do right click and flatten selected. That's made all those 4 bars into one single, how could you say it? Just one single pattern, basically one single insert. So now I've got 1 click and that puts all 4 in at the same time. If I look at my pattern, you'll see it's repeating everything 4 times now. So it's a nice quick way of duplicating the same pattern and putting it into a single pattern. Now if you want to do the opposite of that, you could split it back up again into different patterns. So I can use my slicer tool up here, and I could slice it up again. Click where you want to slice it, and what it's done there is sliced it and made the rest of it pattern 2. So if I look at my patterns, pattern 2 has got 3 lots of that rhythm again, and pattern 1 has just the initial one that we had before. What you'll see though, when you flatten something, even if you use the step sequencer and you click on the rectangles to actually make the beats like we did, you'll see that it gets overwritten with the lines, like so. Okay, so that's the slice tool. Another cool feature, what you can do is right click, you can select the color, and you can choose a color for your different patterns, which is quite funky. You can group together your bass, your drums, wherever you want there. Another cool feature which I learned just today within the last 5 minutes was you can actually split a pattern. Let's delete this one. You can actually split a pattern up between all these different channels I've got. So currently I've got kick, clap and hat. I can right click and select split by channel, and there you go, it's got kick, clap and hat. And what you can do then is just play just the kick, put the clap in there, so you can actually split it by channel, which is quite useful. Okay, so that's pretty much that. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the clip editor. Now you can also insert your pattern at the top rather than at the bottom. So what I'll do is put my pattern at the top. Actually I've only got a kick now because I've split it by channel. Don't think I can undo that, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'll play that at the top. Let's do the hi-hat instead. Now the top bit's useful because you can see the audio there, and you can use a tool called what's it called? It's one of these, slip edit. If I click on that, I can drag the beginning inside and move the entire thing over. So I can actually decide or choose which part of the audio I want to play first. So it's good if you've got a full pattern but you only want to start playing from the end point before you kick into the main tune. And you'll see me doing that when I actually start making my real track, because I tend to do that quite a lot. Okay, I think I'm out of time here now. I'm also half dead at the moment. I need to get some sleep, so that'll do for this week, and I'll catch you guys next time. We'll talk about the mixer. Take care now.